It's the SKOR North Twins Show.
Alrighty, SKOR North Twins Show extra innings episode here from Target Field. Declan Goff hanging out with you guys here. Twins avoid the sweep. They beat the Detroit Tigers 5-1 today. That's good. That's good news for the Twins. They improved to 5-11 on the season. It's just their second win in the last week. But they do avoid the sweep. Some highlights today. There's some good things to talk about. Hit that like button, subscribe button, though, here on the Twin Show YouTube channel. We're getting closer to 5,000 subscribers. So thank you to everyone who has supported and liked this channel. If you can, continue to give us a subscribe, hit the like button. Appreciate that. We'll have a State of the Twins tomorrow with Mackie Judd and myself. Programming a Trevor Plouffe Tuesday will be on a Thursday this week. Trev's doing some traveling. So we'll have Plouffe on for Thursday. He won't be in his allotted spot on Tuesday. But regardless, a lot of fun things still here on the SKOR North Twins Show, despite the Twins season being kind of in the crapper to start. Let's talk about today's game, though, okay? Twins get a win. Simeon Woods-Richardson looks solid. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 0 walks, 5 strikeouts. Spencer Torkelson, who's having a great season finally. I mean, he was the number 1 overall pick. He split time in the minors last year after kind of flaming out after an up and down 2023 season. But Sim rebounds pretty well, throws 5 innings. You know, I know there was probably a contingency of fans and just looking at his pitch line because he only threw, let's see here, 78 pitches. Maybe he should have gotten the 6th inning. I think the reasoning there would be Torkelson was coming back up to the plate. He had already taken him deep. He'd been killing Twins pitching this entire series. So I think pulling Sim at that point was probably the right move. You're seeing him the 3rd time through the order. And then Louis Varland comes in, and I mean, holy cow. I mean, that was about as electric as Louis Varland has probably ever been. Nearly touching triple digits on the radar gun. Stuff-wise, he's probably throwing the best he's ever thrown. Mixing in that changeup, mixing in the knuckle curve. Yeah, that fastball topped up at 99.8 miles per hour. He had 4 swings and misses on 12 pitches. I mean, struck out the side. He was fantastic. And then they just bridged basically the win from there. They go into Cole Sands, Griffin Jacks. He also strikes out the side. Duran, who continues to look really solid too. He gets the 9th inning, doesn't get a save situation, but closes the game out with a strikeout as well. So a solid day for the Twins pitching. They allowed just 5 hits, I believe. They sent down 14 Tigers batters in a row too to close things out. So a really good day on the mound for the Twins. You know, I got some tweets today about, you know, are this just going to be a 5-and-fly type of rotation, especially right now with Pablo Lopez out. You know, I don't know how to necessarily answer that right now. I mean, they've dubbed themselves the best bullpen in baseball. I think we're far from the best bullpen in baseball when you watch the Twins. However, they still have a lot of confidence in it. And I think more times than not, you're still probably going to see guys like Pablo when he comes back, Ober and Joe Ryan definitely get the benefit of the doubt for the 6th and 7th inning, where guys like Sim, who they kind of want to maybe mature, kind of want to not run him completely out of gas like last season. I mean, and also he threw 100+ pitches in his last start. So guys like Simeon, Chris Paddock, who's just more of ineffective than anything, and even David Festa. I'll have an update on that here in just a bit. I think they do want to be kind of 5-and-fly there. And sometimes if your bullpen is as good as it's supposed to be, you can have 5-and-fly. But yes, it'd be nice for some of these starters obviously to go deeper into games and give the Twins some length, not have to burn out bullpen arms. Twins are wrapping up, I think, a run of 14 games, 17 games in a row without an off day. So they're in the thick of it right now. Their next off day is on Thursday as when they close out here against the Mets before hitting the road again for Atlanta. But you'd like to see the Twins pitchers for sure, obviously, go a little bit deeper into games. On the offensive side, we saw Brooks Lee. Brooks Lee returned to the Twins today from his rehab stint. The Twins sent down Jose Miranda. The viral gaffe from yesterday obviously did not do him any favors. He's had a rough start to the season offensively. I think defensively, he's obviously also a high liability, whether he's at 3rd or 1st. And when a play like that happens, that's incredibly unfortunate and just lacking baseball common sense and IQ. You can see why they end up having to send someone down like that. So Brooks Lee comes up, first at bat in the 2025 season, drives in a run, really solid base knock there for Brooks Lee. It sounds like, I think after the Miranda gaffe, that kind of accelerated the decision. I thought he was going to be here or be activated by the Mets series, but regardless, the Twins need all the offense they can get. Plus, he can give them much better defensive flexibility and just reliability at third base and second base. So Brooks Lee, a nice little 2025 debut. Byron Buxton, big day at the plate. He has a home run. He had a double today. Still tracking down fly balls. He entered play today with just one hit in his last 17 at bats before that home run. And I mean, they need someone to obviously step up here, and they need their star players to step up. Byron Buxton was in a little bit of a skid. Carlos Correa got his first off day of the season, at least his first full off day of the season. So that was also, I think, really important for guys like Buxton to step up, have a big day at the plate. Edouard Julien was back in the leadoff spot. The Twins kind of shook around their order with no Correa, and the offense obviously scuffling as it has been all season. He was back in the leadoff spot today, hits a home run, kind of classic Eddie Julien of the good ways. Hits an opposite field power home run. He's, I think, starting to realize how he can also attack balls on the outer half of the zone, which is something that he has struggled with on non-fastballs, especially against off-speed and breaking balls. So the fact Edouard Julien, I thought, had a very good day at the plate today was a good sign. And I don't mind the Matt Wallner leadoff experience. Wallner moved down to the cleanup spot in today's order. I don't mind the Matt Wallner leadoff thing. I think that's fine. But if you're going to get Edouard Julien, who right now is swinging a really good bat, he is up, at least in this season. He's got an OPS at 769. He's hitting 282. He was a very important player, obviously, 2 years ago on that playoff team. Last year was a kind of a rough year where he got sent down and spent time in the minor leagues after being the leadoff hitter on opening day last season. But if Julian's going to hit like that, you can probably shake around your lineup a little bit. Ty France continues to also, again, lone bright spots here on a 5-11 team, but Ty France has been awesome. He's slashing over 800. He had 2 more hits today. He's batting 298. I think this might be their lineup construction here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised even when Correa comes back. He probably still slides up to that 3rd spot, even though he's been scuffling, but Castro at times has looked all right this year. And Wallner and France are your more prototypical, probably middle of the order type of guys. I mean, Wallner's got a 78 OPS. Ty France is an 811 OPS. They're kind of your classic 5-6 hitters, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if they kind of keep this lineup together with Eddie Julien being maybe more of the leadoff man and then going from there. But Twins do get a big win today. That's obviously big. Twins are now 5-11 on the season. And I kept thinking about this over the course of the game today, especially as it was looking towards a Twins win without getting completely too far ahead of ourselves. But you go back to a week ago here when I joined you for extra innings from Target Field, and the Twins were 3 outs away from beating the Astros in a series and going to 4-5 and thinking, okay, some hiccups early on, but 4-5, you've now won 4 of the last 5 games. You had 1 there. And man, how quickly a week can continue to go wrong for you. I mean, it was just their 2nd win of the season, and now they're 5-11. I mean, think about that. They went from being just a game back of 500 if they had pulled off that win last Sunday. And who knows, like maybe they go to 4-5 and they still, lose a series to Kansas City, lose a series to Detroit. I'm not saying it's all things equal there, but the fact that they were that close to being, just a game back of 500, and now they're 6 games still back of 500, that's a problem. That's a big problem. So hopefully the Twins can find themselves in a better spot. They got 3 more games against the Mets. Meet the Mets. They're coming to town tomorrow. Mets are playing a really good ball this year. So it'll be a fun series regardless. Twins are 4.5 games back in the AL Central. The Mets are 9-5 on the season. I believe they're playing the Athletics there as I'm recording this. So we'll see what happens there. But the Mets are obviously a very solid team. And hopefully maybe the Twins can steal a series. But I mean, this has just been obviously a pretty big disappointing start to the season. So as cliche and lame as it sounds right now, like I do get the old take it a day at a time, because what else are you supposed to do? But 5-11, yeah, I mean, that's not good. Hey, by the way, I can hear the music. It's Sunday Kid Day, so they're all running the bases. There was a car fire in Ramp B here at Target Field. So if you're familiar with the layout at Target Field, over the right field plaza, there's obviously one of the three ramps, A ramp, B ramp, C ramp. The B ramp, there was like a car fire on the top floor. I parked on there like a week ago on opening day. I know exactly where that would be. There was like smoke. You could smell it. It was kind of distracting, but there was a car fire, which was very interesting today. It was kind of poetic and reminiscent of this start to the Twins season, but they didn't stop play or anything. Players said they obviously noticed it. They could smell it. It became hazy. I mean, it was very obvious for those that were in attendance today. And by the way, only 15,000, I think, in attendance for today's finale. 15,963 for today's finale against the Detroit Tigers. On Friday night's game, it was 12,900, which would have been the third lowest attended weekend game in Target Field history. So I know the Mets are coming to town. The Mets are fun. So, like, if you're a Mets fan coming to Target Field, that's exciting. If you want to see a good team, that's also exciting. But, like, that shouldn't be the lure to get fans in here. And unfortunately, it's going to take an awful lot more than even sweeping the Mets, I think, for fans to get back being committed to the Twins. That's going to be a very long thing to figure out. Winning certainly cures all. I wouldn't deny that, but it's going to take an awful lot more than to get fans in the seat here. And today was gorgeous, 60 degrees. It was sunny. This whole weekend was pretty solid. So the fact those attendance numbers are pretty low is indicative of how Minnesota sports fans feel about this team and the organization. So I get that. I promised a David Festa update, so hit that like button and the subscribe button. I'll give you that here on Extra Innings before we wrap up and say goodbye. So Festa is sticking around. David Festa will make the Wednesday start in this 3-game series finale against the Mets. So Festa will get the ball again. He's not going back to St. Paul. Zebby Matthews, I believe, is scheduled to start for the Saints tomorrow or Tuesday. So David Festa is sticking around. Something we talked about on Friday here on Extra Innings was there's a path where this is not just a spot start. If he shows he pitches well, and he did on Friday, he did pitch well. The bullpen had a tough go of it on Friday night. That was not Festa's fault. So Festa's going to get another turn. Zebby Matthews will remain in St. Paul for now. I think we're probably close to Zebby making a start with the Twins eventually here, but they're going to take things a little slowly. And honestly, I kind of get it, but Chris Paddock, who threw all right yesterday, was probably his best start of the season. But they're keeping their options open, and David Festa looked really solid, and he's going to get another run in the finale on Wednesday against the Mets, an afternoon game. So that's cool. So David Festa will remain in the Twins starting rotation. And yeah, so Festa will be staying here. Zebby, I guess we'll still wait and see. Douglas on the YouTube channel says that attendance was sad, especially on Mauer statue day, as it was nice. Yes, the Joe Mauer statue unveiling was here. It's sad. I don't know why. I kind of thought they would do this like in the summer with the unveiling, but they want to get it over with now. Maybe try to get fans here early. Well, I don't know if that really worked out, but yes, there is now a Joe Mauer statue. And honestly, 4 statues, they did a very good job. Statues recently have been a huge problem. So the fact they got the statue right, good things there for Joe Mauer, which is pretty cool. So hit that like button and subscribe button, though, on the SKOR North YouTube channel. We'll have a State of the Twins tomorrow. That's obviously bound to be a spicy episode. We'll have a State of the Wolves, who are trying to hold off the Utah Jazz, which I can't believe I even have to say that. They're trying to figure out their playoff seeding. So if you're a Wolves and a Twins fan, we'll know where the Timberwolves fall in the playoff pecking order here in the next couple hours. So tomorrow on Monday, we'll have plenty of Twins content, Wolves content, special guests on Purple Daily too tomorrow. So if you're a Minnesota sports fan and you're all encompassing, we appreciate you guys. So yeah, more Extra Innings content though coming at you. 3 games against the Mets. I'll have more for you guys throughout the week here at Target Field. So hit that like button and subscribe button. This is the SKOR North Twins Show. We'll be talking at you soon.